Here we are live, ladies and gentlemen, at Lucas Oil Stadium, the site of tonight's Big Ten championship game between the 6th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes and the 21st-ranked Northwestern Wildcats. Hey, everybody, I'm Andy Evans, and this is your quick-hit pregame preview brought to you by Columbus Wired. So what's this game mean tonight? Of course, it means a lot of things. The Ohio State Buckeyes coming off a huge win last weekend, 62-39 over their hated arch rivals, that team up north, the Michigan Wolverines. Dwayne Haskins had a huge day slinging the rock, 396 yards and 6 touchdowns. The Buckeyes now have won 4 in a row. They sit 8-1, and with that win last weekend, they are now the Big Ten East Division champs, taking on the Big Ten West Division champs, the 8-4 Northwestern Wildcats, who are also 8-1 in the conference, winning that West Division last weekend after beating their arch rival Illinois 24-16. Of course, they had that wrapped up a couple of weekends ago. The Wildcats, however, on a 3-game win streak, last loss coming November 3rd at home to Notre Dame. Of course, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish right now a spot in the college football playoff. But the Wildcats, however, have not lost a conference game since their 4th game of the season. That was to the Michigan Wolverines in a narrow loss, 20-17. And of course, this game featuring 2 Big Ten, big-time, top-notch coaches, the rookie against the grizzled veteran. The grizzled vet, Urban Meyer, 18th year as head coach, 7th at Ohio State, yet this is now his 4th appearance in the Big Ten championship game, which now makes him the most appearances of any coach in the Big Ten Conference since this game came about in 2011. The rookie, Pat Fitzgerald, a guy who has spent now 12 years as a head coach, a 43-year-old who won this year's Hayes Schembechler Coach of the Year and the Dave McClain Coach of the Year awards. Of course, 12 years at Northwestern, meaning he has actually spent more time as a Big Ten coach than our rival tonight, or should I say the guy who's going to be standing across the sidelines from him in Urban Meyer. The first time that a Northwestern head coach has won both of those Coach of the Year awards since Randy Walker did it in 2000. Urban Meyer yet to win that award, despite the fact that this is now his 4th Big Ten championship game, and he's got a national championship tucked under his belt. The rookie, Pat Fitzgerald, of course I say rookie because this is his first time being in this Big Ten championship football game. So what's it going to take for the Northwestern Wildcats to win tonight? Well, this is not exactly a Northwestern offense that's been very good this year. They rank 12th in scoring in the conference at 23 points a game, 12th in total offense at just over 350 yards a game. Their rushing offense right now dead last in the conference at 114 yards a game, and their team passing efficiency right now 11th in the conference, behind the arm of 5th-year senior quarterback Clayton Thorson, thrown for a little over 2,600 yards and 14 touchdowns. However, 12 interceptions, which puts that at 2nd most for any starting quarterback in the Big Ten Conference. But as we've seen, OSU's defense kind of been like a sieve at times this year. They've let some very average running backs run all over them this season. In fact, this season alone, they've allowed a combination of at least 5 running backs and 1 quarterback to run for over 100 yards in a single game against them, including Maryland redshirt freshman running back Anthony McFarland, who toasted OSU's defense 2 weekends ago for 298 yards. And this is an Ohio State passing defense that has 9 picks on the year, and that puts them dead last in the conference in interceptions, tied with Rutgers and the Northwestern Wildcats. So ultimately, Northwestern, they have to play ball control and keep it out of the hands of Dwayne Haskins. If we've seen anything out of Ohio State's defense this season, they have a tendency to give up big games to average running backs. And if the Wildcats can get at least 150 yards and 2 touchdowns out of their true freshman and Sydney, Ohio native, Isaiah Bowser, who's got 736 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year, I think Northwestern has a chance. So the answer is simple. Play ball control, hit the occasional big pass when Ohio State's defense least expects it, and expose Ohio State's defense on the ground as we've seen so many other teams do this year. And then, of course, hand it off to your Sydney, Ohio native and just let him ramble all over his home state team. But what about the Buckeyes? The answer is simple. you let Dwayne Haskins, the third-year sophomore, the Big Ten's all-time single-season passing touchdowns and passing yards leader, sling the rock all over the field just like he did last weekend against that stout, staunch, vaunted best defense in the country that Michigan supposedly had. All he did, like I said earlier, throw for 396 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. You get a game like that out of Dwayne Haskins, and I can guarantee you that Northwestern's probably going to be hurting when this game's all said and done. However, Northwestern likes to play ball control, and they're going to try and keep the ball out of Dwayne Haskins' hands. But if he can get it to some of the members of Zone 6, like KJ Hill, like Johnny Dixon, Benjamin Victor, true freshman Chris Olave, who came out of nowhere and caught 2 passes last weekend against Michigan, however, both of them touchdowns, and then some fifth-year senior named Paris Campbell, who right now 903 receiving yards on the season, and after tonight has the possibility of becoming the 6th receiver ever in Ohio State history to have over 1,000 receiving yards in a single season. We'll see what Dwayne Haskins and the boys can do. So ultimately, if you're Ohio State, the answer is simple. Let Dwayne Haskins sling the rock, and everything should be okay. So, having said that, my personal prediction, I think Dwayne Haskins has a good game tonight, but I think that Northwestern is going to try and play ball control and keep it out of his hands. So I think Ohio State needs to answer back, and I think we're going to see that out of Urban Meyer. As we've seen him in the past, whenever there's something about the other team's defense that is supposed to be so staunch, like we saw against Michigan State last year and this year in running the football, and of course last weekend against Michigan, he's going to try and test them. He's going to try and see exactly how good their defense is. And I think you're going to see him come out and try and run the ball a little bit. And I think you do need to see that with Mike Weber and J.K. Dobbins. They both seem to be healthy. They're both going to be playing. We'll see. They usually can combine for about 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. If they can do that tonight, I think Ohio State's chances are very good. But I think it's a fairly low-scoring game. I think Pat Fitzgerald comes in here. He's got his team high-flying and ready to go. And I think ultimately that's going to hurt Ohio State's chances in having an explosive offensive game. But I still think the Buckeyes are going to pull out the win. It's going to be a close one here in Indianapolis tonight, and we'll be coming at you live on our Twitter page with live in-game updates, and of course we'll be coming at you with a post-game synopsis. For Columbus Wired, I'm Andy Evans. Ohio State 33, Northwestern 28, your final score. Thanks for watching.